Hey everyone, it's Emily and welcome back to my 21 and Sensory podcast. This is actually episode 13, which is a little bit crazy. I can't believe I've done 13 episodes, but I think since like episode 10 I've been saying, I can't believe I've done episode 10, episode 11, episode 12. Anyway, thanks for still listening. It means a lot. I realised I haven't kind of done a podcast since I think it was October. I'm just looking at my, I can look at my podcast stats online. So at the moment I'm averaging 80 plays per episode, which is amazing. Considering this is my 13th, which is kind of cool. And I can see lots of you are kind of downloading it as well to listen to later, which is also really cool. So yeah, I thought I'd do a little kind of, just a kind of update because I haven't really done a podcast since October, not because I didn't want to sort of thing. I think it's just kind of been a bit busy really, and just to let you know that I will still be continuing to do them in the new year. I have a fancy new microphone. It's what's it called? It's a blue microphone, one of the I think it's called a Snowball Ice microphone from Amazon. So I got some gift vouchers. So I put some money towards a new microphone, so hopefully I should sound better, although I have actually got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I've got a brand new microphone and a nasty cold, so probably not the best combo. But anyway, just to let you know, I'll be doing these podcasts into the new year, so I'll try and keep them up more regularly. It just depends if I get busy at work or not. You'll definitely find I'm kind of more of a regular kind of poster on social media, so Instagram is probably the place where I post most for 21 Sensory, so if you want to keep more up to date, best to follow me over there. I do have Twitter as well, which I do kind of use on and off, so you can follow me there if you like. Also, I will be keeping up on my blog too, so just to let you know that I am alive and relatively well apart from my cold, and I will keep doing podcasts into the new year. So I thought I'd read you guys a couple of blog posts that I've made on my blog. I feel like sometimes not everyone's like up to date on my blog and stuff, just because life is busy, and it's nice to be read too, like every so often. So I thought I'll start with one of the blog posts that's called You're a Limited Edition. So this was posted on my blog on the 1st of November. So here we go. So I posted a picture of some type that says you're a limited edition, and then underneath I've put, it's so true, every single one of us, we are all limited editions and nobody is the same. Sometimes this is a bad thing. Living in 2018 makes me feel like I want to conform, fit in and be considered normal. It means I am constantly comparing myself to others and wanting to be just like them, and yeah, social media doesn't help all this. I'm trying super hard recently to embrace that I'm a limited edition. Yes, I'm very different, and some people might think I'm a bit odd, weird, or special. I'm trying to be more upfront and honest when I'm struggling, and also I'm trying to explain my sensory difficulties a little bit more. And I've never done that before. I've never outright said, I have sensory processing disorder and this is what it means to me. But the other day I said this in conversation, relatively briefly, and I wasn't made to feel small or different. And that felt great. So this was a bit of a ramble, but the thing that I wanted to mention was that I've recently been speaking to a few different people via my 21 and Sensory account on Instagram through direct messages, and it's incredible how many people are struggling to understand themselves and make sense of their place in this weird old world. People I've spoken to just want to be normal and fit in with their peers, be it at school, college, uni, work, life in general, etc. We put this pressure on ourselves and mask our true feelings and needs. I have days where I am so desperate to be normal and to be able to cope in social situations and new environments that I come home and feel incredibly down and very lost. But on the good days I am proud of how I challenge myself and try to do new activities. I am able to cope on public transport without getting very sweaty and cold with fear. Thank God for contactless payments, it's so much quicker and I used to have to hand over sweaty change all the time. I am able to make conversation more fluently and I find I am less stressed over eye contact and I know when to talk. On days like these, I feel like a sort of superhero. let's just go with Spider-Man. I have spidey senses that tingle. I can hear layers upon layers of noise. I can smell things from what seems like a mile off. I can immediately identify the nearest toilet to escape to in busy locations. I can smell spices and seasoning and avoid eating anything too strong or spicy. I can find quiet places to eat and shop without constant blaring background music. It's not atmospheric, it's really annoying. That's my little rant over. So what I'm trying to get at is that there are/can be positives to being you and being a limited edition. You just have to hold out for those good days. I know that's a rubbish line, especially if you're going through difficult times. There's nothing worse than someone saying, things will be better soon, or you'll get through this, because all you want to know is when, like a time, date, month, year would be handy. If I'm honest, I've had to wait months to feel like I've had some good days. This made me feel quite sad, because as a 24-year-old, I should be out living life to the max. Not like too close to the max though. I'm a sensory being, let's not forget. This past month, so in November, I've noticed I've enjoyed things much more. I felt less emotional and I feel like I'm struggling less with being unable to express how I feel. I've had good days, and I think this could be down to number 1, the right concoction of medication helping me to feel much more stable emotionally and mood-wise. Number 2, having/finding things to look forward to. This is huge. Before, I felt so empty and like there was nothing to strive for. Number 3, appreciating the little things more, like going out for a tea or coffee or tidying my room in order to keep my mind tidy too. These things can bring me joy. So, to summarise, yeah, every single person in this world is a limited edition. And despite social media depicting our best selves, we are all trying to navigate this weird old world, and I think it's okay to make some mistakes along the way. Okay, so the next blog post that I wrote was called You're Not a Mess, and I published that on the 1st of December. So underneath it on my blog there's like an image which you can also see on my Instagram, which says, "You're not a mess, you're brave for trying." Okay, so underneath it says, "It's so easy to put yourself down these days. Everything seems that much more difficult to deal with, whether it's sensory or adult stuff like admin, self-care, tidying, paying bills, the stuff everyone else makes look easy. It's easy to think of yourself as a mess. I think of myself as a mess. And that's not really a nice thing to write or to say, but it's true. I feel like I am bumbling along, attempting to deal with things as they come my way, and ultimately feeling overwhelmed sensory and mental health-wise. But I started wondering, what if everyone else, the people I think who are super cool and have got it all together in life, also think of themselves as a mess? What if we are all just walking around and thinking like this? I know it comes back to the whole comparison thing, but yeah, it's super easy to constantly compare yourself to others because that's all that's ever in front of you. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, it's never ending. All the different platforms that throw you happy people all the flipping time. It's tiring. 2018 has been really hard for me, and not a lot of people are aware of this. But to share a snippet, I would like to mention how awful life feels when everyone is happy and you feel like an utter mess. A social media example. So I tap on the Facebook app on my phone and instantly I'm thrown into newlywed couple photos, new baby scans, new travel adventures, graduations, moving house, like key photos, engagement photos, and all I went on Facebook for was to get rid of the notifications and maybe see a cute dog video. Instead, I am reminded of how I am not progressing in life and everyone is having a great, lovely, happy time. But the thing is, they aren't. And I'm brave for continuing to remember that and to try and create my own happiness. I've learnt to appreciate more of the little things. I love cups of tea. I like sunsets. I like new fine liner pens. I like my comfy dressing gown. I love baths. I enjoy eating blueberries. These give me tiny happiness bursts. Find the tiny things that bring you joy and hold on to them so tight because they really can help. I'm not a mess, and neither are you or anybody else you know. We are all figuring out our own stuff in life, and yeah, some people more than others, but nobody is a mess. I think we're all braver than we think. And I've just put underneath a note to myself, is to stop opening Facebook and I should just Google dog videos. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about my sensory festive season. So this year I went to my team dinner at work. It was painful. I went to our company Christmas party, and that was painful and loud, and I actually got dragged onto a dance floor against my own wishes, so that was great, but I survived the environment. I missed one cocktail night out, one night out, and a co-worker comes up to me the next day and says, "Didn't see you at the pub last night," and it kind of like totally catches me off guard. Like, I'm trying to navigate this sensory world, and my limit is usually like one social or festive gathering, and like I managed 2 out of 3. So I just feel like each year what would make my festive season a little bit better would be just less questions. So, like, number 1, I don't drink alcohol. For some reason this absolutely throws everybody, and I'm questioned beyond belief about it. I just don't like the taste, and that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, I know I'm on medications and stuff, and it's not good to like drink while you're on medications, but I've never really liked the taste of drink anyway, so it's not a problem for me. And yeah, I'll have a lemonade instead. Every time someone's like, "Can I get you a drink?" I'm like, "Yes, please. Can I have a lemonade?" They're like, "You just want a lemonade?" I'm like, "Yep." That's all I want. Like, it throws people. Number 2, I don't eat much meat. Again, this throws everybody. The reason really is I don't like the taste. To be honest, I'm getting a little bit better in that I am able to cope with chicken, but no other meat really. I just, it's either a taste or texture issue for me. So I just say I'm vegetarian, even though I am able to eat some chicken. But this throws everyone. They constantly question like, "Oh, so are you a vegan? Are you like," and then like want to delve into it more. And I'm not. I'm just say I'm a vegetarian because it's easier. Number 3, I do find it difficult to dress up. So I can wear a dress, but I don't like to wear anything that is tight or short. I feel really, really uncomfortable in a dress or a skirt. I just don't like wearing dresses or skirts. High heels are a bit of a no-go because I trip over my own feet normally in just flat trainers. So I don't know, people always want you to like dress up and wear like they expect you to be wearing like kind of full-on makeup and that sort of thing, and I can deal with mascara and I can deal with like concealer or like foundation if I have a spot, but I don't paint it all over my face. Like, I understand why people do, and that's their preference. I'm totally cool with that, but it's just not for me. So I can do a little bit of mascara, and that's me kind of putting on makeup. I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable, and it makes me uncomfortable in my own skin having stuff on it, so that's why I don't kind of like makeup. But there is this expectation that, you know, you dress up around the festive period, and I like to think I'm the living proof of actually you can go as you are. Like, you can still have a good time despite not being all dressed up and stuff. Like, I don't see why the festive season means I have to do something I'm not comfortable doing. And number 4, I'm kind of dealing with all this sensory stuff in a new environment, you know, if I'm in a restaurant with my team, or if I'm at like usually it's like a large like kind of race course or conference centre where we have our like Christmas party, because there's lots of people at my company, and you know, just getting used to that new sensory environment and having all these questions like really doesn't help. So really what I'm getting at is that I can have fun without drinking, without, you know, eating stuff I'm not comfortable with, and without dressing up. Like, my kind of, you know, favourite kind of thing to do for fun is kind of cozy nights in, watching Bake Off or Top Gear or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or a Louis Theroux documentary, or just like reading a book is like great too. So I've kind of summed this all up in a blog post, and I've also done like a little drawing which is on my 21 Sensory Instagram if you want to have a look, or on my blog, and it's just like me surrounded by people asking me questions. So I tried to get it into a kind of little illustration. That's something I want to talk about as well, is that I really want to do some more kind of I want to kind of get into my own illustration style in the new year, and I want to kind of experiment more, as I follow like a lot of illustrators on Instagram, and some of them are like mental health illustrators as well, and I just think it's nice to be able to like visualize stuff, and like, I don't know, I like Instagram like kind of photo wise, but illustration wise I think there's like so much more that I could say. And obviously I've done a degree in graphic design, and like I love art, like that's what I did at school. So I think hopefully this like next year I'll be getting into some more kind of illustrations, and you'll see some more of them on my Instagram, my Twitter and my blog. So keep an eye out for those. So something that I forgot to say was back in, let me have a look, September, I was interviewed on a different podcast, which is crazy. The very lovely people from Chewy Gem interviewed me, and the episode is titled SPD and Adulthood with 21 and Sensory. So it came out on the 15th of September. So if you have a spare moment, if you just either Google their podcast name, which is the Sensory Matters podcast, and let me just have a look. You can check out the podcast like on Apple Podcasts, Google Music, that sort of thing. Let me have a look. It was number 31. What I will just do, I'm just going to read out the little description underneath. So it was called SPD in Adulthood with 21 and Sensory, and it's the Sensory Matters show, and it's number 31. So they're actually up to 40 episodes at the moment. So the description says, this week on the Sensory Matters podcast, Jenny is chatting to Emily, who is diagnosed with SPD, sensory processing disorder, and has a blog, 21 and Sensory. You can find her over on Twitter, and she is also a Chewy Gem affiliate, which I forgot to tell you guys. I'm actually... I earn like a small amount when I sell through my own like kind of Chewy Gem link. There's some on my blog, and it goes on to say that Emily set up her blog to help other adults with sensory processing disorder in the UK. She wanted to help them find information on other adults with the disorder. We find out about her diagnosis and how she feels she is probably autistic but not yet diagnosed. Emily works as a full-time graphic designer, and we find out some of the things that would help her if her employers knew that she had SPD. So I recommend going and checking it out. I can see on their website it's already had 65 downloads, which is insane. So yeah, just Google Sensory. It's called The Sensory Matters Show by Chewy Gem. It will take you to a site called Podbean where you can listen to it, or you can literally just type in The Sensory Matters Show into Apple Podcasts. I don't know where else it's available. I think Google Music. Basically anywhere where you listen to your podcast, it will be available. So if you're listening, why not kind of let me know what you think of it via social media. I'd be interested to know what everyone thinks and whether they found it helpful or not. So yeah, it was really cool to be able to like go on someone else's podcast. It was a little bit different. Because usually I'm just on my own podcast, on my, just me talking to a microphone. So it was interesting to be able to talk to Jenny about kind of like the process of like diagnosis and how I feel like I might be autistic. Yeah, so let me know what you think. So to finish off this podcast, I just wanted to mention one more thing that I did this year. Which was I kind of started to do a little bit more on my YouTube channel. So I actually posted it's actually almost 18 minutes of this video, so it's a long old video. So get a cup of tea, coffee, bit of cake and watch it. So it's a fidget and stim toys, like sensory unboxing. So I uploaded it to YouTube. When did I upload it? Hang on, let me have a look. I uploaded it in September. And I thought it'd be like just a little bit interesting because I've already done like my own kind of large sensory box, so with big things in like ear defenders, kind of bigger bits and pieces like spiky kind of like rings and the big brushes that I use. But I thought it'd be good to do like a smaller like kind of the fidgets and like sensory kind of toys that I use like every day, and it's kind of in a small sort of lunchbox size box, so it's one that's kind of more travel friendly. So yeah, I put that up on my YouTube channel, so if you want to have a look at it, it's 21 and sensory, the same as all my other like social media. I thought I'd just go through the list of stuff that's actually kind of in my box, so that you can kind of, I don't know, just get a little overview of what's in my box. All the links are on my blog as well if you do fancy like buying any of these. So obviously there was a kind of a little plastic lunchbox style box that I got off Amazon, and then I got a like a kind of puzzle cube, like it's like a fidget toy. It's kind of rainbow, and like the sections kind of pop in and out. Obviously you're going to need to watch this video to understand what I'm kind of talking about, but some other bits and pieces that are in my box are some good earplugs off Amazon, some good squishies that I got off Amazon as well, some fidget spinners, a fidget cube, so the original like fidget cube by Antsy Lab, I find those are the best ones. Also got my Tangle in there, a little sequin notebook that I use, that you can, it's kind of all the craze, these kind of like sequin, like you can get like cushion covers where you can like, you brush the sequins one way and then one colour, and you brush them the other way and they're a different colour. So I've got like a notebook of that so I can kind of like travel with it. Also I've got like exercise rings and like a small kind of fidget game controller that I got from Tiger. I've got some Chewy Gem stuff in there, so my Chewy Gem raindrop and my berries. So both of those are like jewellery, like quite chunky necklaces that are in my kind of everyday box. I've also got just a standard Rubik's Cube, and just to kind of fidget with on the go, and some other kind of like squishy, like a squishy banana, and some kind of stress balls as well. Yeah, that sort of thing really. I know me kind of talking it through doesn't really do it justice, so it is, if any of that sounds relatively interesting, go check it out on my YouTube. And all the links are on my blog if you want to kind of see where I bought stuff from. It's all kind of low cost stuff, so I'd say the most expensive thing, what would the most expensive thing be? It'd probably be the Chewy Gem bits and pieces, so they can be kind of sort of, I don't know, £13-ish, I think they usually are. So everything's under, definitely everything in this box is under £15. And yeah, most of it's bought either from Flying Tiger UK, Chewy Gem in the UK, or Amazon UK. So 3 main places where I usually get my fidgets and stim toys. Yeah, so I just thought it would be, I don't know, it might be interesting for you guys to just watch it. It's quite a long video where I go through like how I use it, and then I kind of put it all back in the box. So it's kind of like an unboxing. I'm not sure if I can call it an unboxing, whether or not it has to be a new thing to unbox it. I don't know, I'm not very good with YouTube, I'm getting there. So yeah, check it out, let me know what you think, feel free to comment below. I've had some comments more recently on my YouTube channel, like saying I should do ASMR, which is like, you know, when people like whisper into microphones and things, or they make tapping noises, or I don't know. Like the only ASMR I really listen to is bath filling, or like bath running ASMR, because I like the kind of sound of like running water. But yeah, let me know if you think I should do some ASMR. I don't really know what I do. Yeah, it could be quite interesting, I guess. So just to finish this off, I hope everyone had a good Christmas and Boxing Day, and the festive period hasn't been too crazy. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram who have been kind of a little bit overwhelmed with the whole Christmas period, and I totally get it. I also escaped on Christmas Day and Boxing Day to the nearest loo to hide out for a little bit from my relatives. Not that they really know that, but like for us sensory beings, you know, and when I say sensory beings, it means kind of anybody who has any kind of sensory things going on, whether you're autistic or not. You know, it can be difficult for us, the festive period. I think people underestimate that. But well done for surviving, because you're listening to this. And I hope everyone has a happy new year, and I genuinely mean that, because I know how difficult life is. I've also been receiving a lot of emails lately, people who've been finding my blog, which is really lovely. And I just want to say, if you do ever want to chat, like, feel free to email me. My email address is 21andsensory@gmail.com. I will always endeavour to reply. Usually I'm pretty speedy, like within a few days, but sometimes if I'm busy, a little bit longer, but I will always reply. If you just need to chat, or even if you have a question, like, I'm really open for discussion, and I'm really happy to answer emails and find more people like me out there, so do feel free to email me if you ever kind of would like to. And I think that's it for this podcast and for 2018. Again, I hope everyone has a happy new year, and that the 31st isn't full of crazy loud fireworks and people getting, all too loud in the party spirit. But yeah, I will see you all next year. Bye!